They're just back from a trip to Taiwan where they met with senior leaders on security, trade, and investment as tensions with China bubble. Let's bring in Congressman Mike Gallagher of Wisconsin, chairman of the House Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party, and Democratic Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthi of Illinois, ranking member on the committee. You guys seem like you're okay together. That's good. That's a start in today's environment. Congressman Gallagher, I'll begin with you. What'd you learn?
Well, we just spent 2 15-hour flights together, so we really bonded on that. But I think the most important thing from the trip is that Taiwan just had a very successful election. It's the first of roughly 40 democracies that are going to be going to the polls this year. And despite the relentless attempts by the Chinese Communist Party to interfere with that election, to influence the outcome, Taiwan's democracy prevailed. It's a remarkably free society, and we have great partners there. I was very impressed with the meeting we had with the president-elect, William Lai. I expect him to build off outgoing President Tsai's legacy, but we need to learn some lessons from their democratic experience and make sure that nothing can interfere with our upcoming election, which is why I think it would be sensible for us to ban foreign-controlled apps like TikTok or force a sale to an American company before they dominate our news ecosystem. Beyond that, I would say we need to be doing more to speed the delivery of the weapons that Taiwan has purchased but remain backlogged right now.
You have similar thoughts on this? You agree with everything that Congressman Gallagher just said, Congressman?
Yeah, I echo his sentiments. Two other takeaways, Joe. One is that in every conversation that we had, whether it was with the president-elect or the current president or others, they asked, are we going to fund aid to Ukraine? Are we going to help Ukraine prevail? Because they see Ukraine prevailing as important in their own defense against CCP or Chinese Communist Party aggression toward them. The second takeaway is that their economy is doing really well, in contrast to the mainland Chinese economy. And as the number 2 and number 3 importers of soy and corn from Illinois, and a huge exporter of semiconductors, it's very important to the economy of Illinois and America.
Hey, Congressman Krishnamoorthi, we had our own Phil LeBeau down in Chile today, where China is a major player in the automotive industry and apparently has designs, serious designs on the rest of the world. What should we do there? Do tariffs make sense in that case?
Yes, possibly. And actually, Mike and I actually wrote a joint letter to the administration talking about the issue of the oncoming onslaught of cheap imports from China in terms of potential electric vehicles and other cars that go far beyond the demand for those vehicles in China. And so this is going to be kind of a repeat of their other export model that they've used in the past, which is they export cheap stuff abroad, often under the cost of producing them, dumping them on economies and driving businesses out of entire industries. And we can't let that happen in the U.S. with Chinese car imports.
You agree with that too, Mike?
Yeah, I think what BYD in particular is doing in Europe right now should be instructive for us in America. And if we allow heavily subsidized BYD vehicles to flood the American market, it could be the death of major auto manufacturers. I also have concerns that our auto manufacturers might be forging partnerships with Chinese battery companies, thereby making us more dependent on critical components for our electric vehicles going forward. I don't think that was the intent of the Inflation Reduction Act, so I want us to be careful in terms of what we're doing to foster our domestic industry, but certainly BYD has designs on global dominance, and Europe's experience right now should be very instructive for the policies that we explore here in America.
Yep. This is a total aside, but I can't help myself, Congressman. There's a very depressing op-ed piece from Dan Henninger in the Journal today talking about the current state of politics. Did you see it already, Mike? You're smiling. I guess you probably did. But I'll just read part of it. I believe the public has come to regard Washington as a shapeless blur. People don't know what's going on there anymore. Some of Congress's most talented young members have quit in frustration, including Wisconsin Rep. Mike Gallagher. Yeah?
Well, if I'm one of the most talented, that is surely a
We're in
sign of
trouble.
how far Congress has
We're in
fallen.
trouble.
It's a bit like being the best player on the Chicago Bears.
Ooh,
It's a
hold on a
distinction
second. I
without
thought
a
this was
difference,
bipartisan. Hold on a second. I'm a little concerned.
There's no question that the dysfunction is frustrating, in particular the broken budget process and the way in which it seems to me we continue to outsource all of our power to the executive branch. That being said, on a hopeful note, what Raja and I have done together on the Select Committee on China, my work on the Armed Services Committee, it's been profoundly bipartisan. It's been very productive. We've made meaningful progress. It doesn't get headlines because we're not bomb throwers. We're not out there trying to get clicks on social media. But that stuff still happens, and that next generation of leaders in Congress does give me hope.
Have you tried to talk him out of it, Congressman Krishnamoorthi? Has he confided in you on what was really behind? He was. I mean, you heard people talking about him as a president someday. That you don't want to do that to Congressman Gallagher?
I tried to talk him out of it. He said the only way that he would stay is if I became a Green Bay Packers fan, and that was kind of a red line for me, Joe. I'm sorry, but in all seriousness, Mike's retirement is going to be a huge loss for Congress. He's exactly the type of Republican that we Democrats can do business with, and we do every single day. And under his leadership on this committee, we've really kind of charted a bipartisan and serious and thoughtful course with regard to the competition with the Chinese Communist Party. So he's done he's done yeoman's work in that regard.
But in all seriousness, Congressman Gallagher, we united, we stand, divided, we fall. This is a difficult position domestically, just writ large, our political situation right now with the election, and we've got China just waiting in the wings to. I mean, I don't know what their designs are, 5, 10, 15 years from now, but we've got to do better. Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah, I would go further and say that the Chinese Communist Party, at least it's clear to me after a year of working on this with Raja, is actively trying to divide us. Their strategy is to pit Americans against Americans and stoke internal tensions so that we destroy ourselves, and they don't have to contest our primacy in the Indo-Pacific because we'll be too internally divided. And so all the more reason why I think serious, sober members of Congress and the executive branch need to come together, cut out all the BS, and do the work that needs to be done right now to prevent a war in the near term and win this competition over the long term. We're just not attacking this with the requisite sense of urgency. As for the presidency, I don't think I'm old enough to run for president, at least by modern standards, and so I'll have to delay that ambition until I'm in my 80s, it seems like. But we need better leadership from the executive branch going forward. But again, here in Congress, there is a lot of bipartisan work being done. It just doesn't get the headlines that a lot of the nonsense does.